10 minutes. You really need to get on with it. 10th position. Here we go. Be ready. Go!
Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to the new video. I'm the Casual Racing Gamer. Today we are talking about GT7. We are talking about iRacing. We are talking about PSVR2. We are talking about the Meta Quest 3. I'll be comparing the headsets, the PSVR2 headset for GT7 and iRacing, the differences I see, the differences I feel, the games compared to each other, GT7 versus iRacing, and also the Meta Quest 3, how that plays in the role against PSVR2 on PC. Now that I had a lot more time to play around with the headsets on PC, obviously I've had the Quest 3 for a while now, so I know what it's like on PC. PSVR2 is brand new to PC, and I'm using iRacing, and yes, I know people are going to say, oh, the graphics in iRacing are so outdated and this and that and all that, but for me, that's the sim racing game to play on PC. So that's the game I'm going to compare it to using the PSVR2 headset. But again, I'm going to be comparing it to, is it better than the Quest 3? Do I like the Quest 3 better? But let's just start out by saying this is completely 100% my opinion. This is not based on any factual testing, any special data. This is just my opinion. My opinion can be completely different than your opinion, so I welcome anyone's opinions down in the comments below. So let's first talk about the clarity of the headset. So PSVR2 on PC or on PS5, the clarity itself is gonna, so I thought I was gonna be blown away playing iRacing on PSVR2 on a PC, because for GT7, the PSVR2 headset uses reprojection, so it runs at 60 hertz reprojected to 120, which does cause some blurriness. And if you move your head really fast with certain things, you might see a double image at times. So I thought when I put my PSVR2 headset on PC with iRacing, I thought I was going to be blown away by the clarity, and I was expecting for it to look a little closer to what I was getting on the Quest 3, and I'll get to the Quest 3 in a minute. My first reaction was I wasn't blown away by the actual clarity of the headset on PC compared to GT7 on PS5. Now, what that means is that's like a big thumbs up to GT7 for what they pulled on a PS5 for a VR headset. For PC, I am running an RTX 3080 GPU and an i7 10th gen CPU, just to give you a comparison against the PS5. That just goes to show you how well that VR was implemented on GT7. Now, on PC, yes, PSVR2 definitely looks more clear, but not blown away clear. It just looks clearer, but I was not blown away by it. I thought it was gonna be a much bigger difference than what it actually was. Now, obviously, getting an OLED screen in PSVR2, the colors are bright, the colors pop, but there's no difference between, you know, the two systems of PS5 or PC as far as the colors and the OLED and all that. They both pop, they both look good, they're both really bright. Put it up against the Meta Quest 3, and I think the clarity, and still after playing around with the headset on the PC with VR2, is the Quest 3's clarity still, hands down to me, is the winner here. Like, when I put on the Quest 3, there's something about the picture quality that to me is kind of feels next level. Now, I know people love their OLED screen. They love the contrast, they love the colors, they love the pop, they love the black levels. I personally like the Quest 3 picture quality better. I like the sharpness. When I'm driving around the track, when I was comparing the Quest 3 to PSVR2 and iRacing, I was able to see like text better. I was able to see things in the background better. Further down the track, things just looked clearer, crisper, tighter. In PSVR2, because of the OLED screen, and I think also because of the filter that's on the screen, it just doesn't have the sharpness that the Quest 3 brings to it. Now, the Quest 3 isn't as bright, it's not as poppy as PSVR2, but honestly, the Quest 3, to me, with the LCD screen, is more in line of reality. I think PSVR2, you know, oversaturated colors, the brightness, the pop. I think the Quest 3 brings more of a natural feel, even though people might not like, you know, might feel like it's a little more dull. The Quest 3 to me blows me away. Now, one thing is latency. PSVR2 versus Quest 3 on PC. Obviously, you're going to get more latency with with Quest 3 because it's not going through a display port. For me, driving and racing, I can't feel the difference. The numbers will obviously tell you there's a difference, and it's a pretty big difference, but when I'm driving, I don't feel a difference. It doesn't affect my driving. I didn't change my driving style. I drive the car, I feel the car, and I drive the way I drive. I wasn't better using one headset over the other. So if latency to you is extremely felt and you think it affects your driving, then yes, PSVR2 is going to take the cake. It's going to obviously win when it comes to PC and which one has better latency. Now, the driving physics between GT7 and iRacing, with the new updated GT7, I'm going to be quite honest with you, it's actually, I felt it a little harder to actually race in GT7 than it is on iRacing. I think racing in GT7 with the new physics actually made me a little better in iRacing because it made iRacing feel a little easier. It's kind of strange. Now, I was racing a Mazda in both games. It's not the exact same Mazda, but they're pretty similar cars. And I was racing at Seca, so same track and everything. So I wanted a close comparison. But if you want an online game, for me, online sim racing is where it's at. So yes, GT7 offers a very good, a very full single player game. It has online racing. It's not as deep. It's not as iRacing is the best online racing sim racing game I think you can possibly have. The whole way it runs, all the races they have going, all the different styles of driving. You have road, you have oval, you have dirt oval. Like everything they have there is top notch. It's unbeatable. It doesn't mean that GT7 isn't enjoyable. I love playing GT7. That's what I play most of the time because it's quick, it's easy. I can hop in, I can get into a race really fast anytime, and they just go really, really often. There's no way I will ever knock iRacing. I think it is one of the best sim racing games out there that offers so much. It is subscription based, but so is GT7. You have to have PlayStation Plus in order to play GT7. So to me, that makes GT7 subscription based as well. Of course, iRacing gives you some free stuff, but you do need to purchase tracks and cars if you want to keep moving on. So it is a more expensive sim racing game. Now, another thing I love about iRacing when I was going back and forth is a spotter and like a crew chief is so important in this game. When I went to GT7, played iRacing, went right into GT7. There was so much silence in GT7. When you're in iRacing, and I use a plugin called Crew Chief, which is the spotter, and you actually feel like there's someone in your headset with you the whole time you're racing. You don't feel alone. There's someone talking to you. He's even telling you like, good move, nice pass. There's nothing vocalized in GT7. I would love to get a spotter because you don't realize how much of an advantage it is knowing when your spot is telling you there's a car on the inside, stay on the outside. And it just felt so lonely when I went back to GT7. I was like, man, I need someone to talk to me. It's so lonely in this car. All I hear is an engine. Where's my spotter? Where's my guy talking to me? Now, PSVR2 versus Quest 3. I do love on Quest 3 that I can use 72 hertz. I can use 80 hertz. With PSVR2, you can only use 90 or 120. That's a big deal if you have a lowest system, but I also like to be able to pump up graphics a little higher on my Quest 3, which allows me to, if I run it at 72 hertz, I can punch things up more. So I didn't feel any advantage running at 90 hertz on PSVR2. It felt just as good on Quest 3. So overall, let's wrap this up. My thoughts, if you own a Quest 3, there is absolutely no reason, for me personally, again, my opinion, I don't think you have to run out and get a PSVR2 headset because you think that's the better headset. I think if you have a Quest 3, I actually think right now, currently, and I can change my mind, come next week, but right now, currently, from the testing I've been doing, I actually like the Quest 3 better. I think it's sharper. I think it's clearer. I think both headsets run smooth. I just like the picture that I get from the Quest 3. I just like the quality better. As far as PSVR2, if you have GT7 and you have PSVR2, if you have a computer and you have Quest 3 already, it's only $60 for the adapter. It's worth it just to have a second headset even. Now, if you don't have a PC and if you have PSVR2 and just PlayStation 5, do I think you need to run out and get a PC? Obviously not. Enjoy GT7. I'm still going to enjoy GT7. I'm still going to play the game most of the time. It's still going to be my game of choice because of just the layout that it has and the simplicity. And I actually love VR in console because there's no messing around with settings. It is so smooth on PSVR2 on PS5. that like there's no slowdown, there's no frame loss, there's no drop frames ever. Every time I'm racing on PC, while things can run smooth and run great, there's always a moment where, wow, my frames are dropping, or this is happening, or something's updating in the background, so my frames are freezing, or there's always something on a PC where you're at risk. On console, you don't deal with that. VR is optimized for your headset, for that system. Everyone runs the same. Everyone's getting the same experience. So if you don't own a PC and you have PSVR2, if you want to get into iRacing 100%, buy yourself a PC, buy the adapter. You're going to have a great time. You're going to love it. iRacing is such an awesome sim racing game, and it doesn't necessarily have to take over your GT7 game. They complement each other very well. And I think if you're used to driving in GT7 and you're a good driver there, especially after the new update, you're going to have no problem transitioning to iRacing and doing well there. You don't need to be professional. Casual drivers, just like myself, are in iRacing. There's a huge level of driving skill from all the way down at the bottom all the way to the top. So you'll fit in where you fit in. You'll be racing with people at your skill level. They have a great rating-based system and everything else. So that's just some of my opinions. Now that I got to play with the headset on both systems and just compare it more with the Quest 3 and things like that. But, you know, let me know your thoughts. Leave it down in the comments. Thumb up the video, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. We out of here. Peace.